In the realm of love and sexual relationships in the present era, it's simple to feel lost. With online dating sites becoming more and more popular, it is now feasible to quickly sift through thousands of potential companions. Being selective about the people we're interested in is simpler than ever when there are so many potential matches at our fingers. According to the sexual selection theory, we all possess innate evolutionary features that influence whom we find attractive. While males may want physically appealing, fertile, young mates, women may choose stronger companions who they know will take care of and provide for them. Let's investigate sexual relations in more detail. A male penguin in love looks for the ideal pebble to give to the female it hopes to entice on the beach. It appears that selecting a companion is an inherent aspect of existence for both humans and animals. It may appear differently in animals. Male peacocks have acquired colorful, patterned feathers that draw females. The likelihood of attracting a partner and having children rises for those with the most attractive feathers. How have peacocks survived for so long since there is such a high degree of danger here? Utilizing the sexual selection idea. So, what exactly involves a sexual relationship? Why do we tend to bond with those whom we later regard as our significant other, and what are the stages of sexual relations? What is a sexual relationship? The physical or emotional closeness between two people defines a sexual connection, commonly referred to as an intimate relationship. Although intimacy is frequently associated with sexual connections, it can also take on other forms and show up in friendships and family relationships where there is no sexual interest. We'll concentrate on sexually attractive intimate relationships. But before I proceed, my name is Obi, and I'm your host from Made TV. Please, kindly subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so, and leave your comments or suggestions in the comment area below. Also, give us a thumbs up if you like this video so that the video can be shared to more people on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you. There are 5 phases in a relationship between a male and a female. Typically, couples only progress past stage 2 and they split up after that. Occasionally, couples can get to 3rd and 4th stages, but they're not truly delighted that they now resemble friends, especially when the sexual tension is non-existent. Neither the woman nor the man is considering possibly the act of leaving and looking for another person. A relationship between two people's greatest benefit is to get to the 5th stage of relationship called the blissful love stage. A man and a woman must travel when they are in a blissful love stage. When they are in a blissful love stage, the love, respect, and affection in the relationship becomes more intimate. You and your partner are more attracted to each other. Grow deeper for one another. You grow fond of one another sexually over time. You two have a lifelong love affair. Enduring respect for one another. Your connection is wonderful, and you two belong to that category of couples. Observe and consider how and why they accomplish their tasks. Why don't I have what? Are they so happy? Have done so. As a result, let's examine each one. I'll discuss some of the phases of a relationship. Describe how it operates and where couples can find it. What to do, should something go wrong, and how to get to the 5th stage, where you encounter a blissful love that makes you want to stay together for the rest of their lives. The first is lust and romance. You feel extremely in this situation, being drawn to each other sexually. When you first start falling in love, which cannot be compared to genuine, committed love, of blissful love phase. You are not particularly concerned in stage 1 with each other's flaws. You only want to enjoy each other's company while having sex together. According to academic researchers, at this phase of relationship's natural stage, the brain releases chemicals that help it to encourage a couple to remain together and remain together long enough to produce progeny. As a result, both the man and the woman will go through this stage. They dumped a load of organic chemicals in their brain, such as oxytocin, dopamine, along with norepinephrine and phenylamine. When a relationship enters its second stage, which is doubt and rejection. In the second phase of a relationship, there is a period of doubt and denial, which, finally, we begin to actually think about how we and our partners are different. Signal that a relationship is ending or that the relationship isn't going well. Couples will have to learn the ability to recognize the distinction between constructive conflict and control problems that are unhealthy. Unlike the latter, the former can be resolved. Possibly a sign that you should end your relationship. As a result of the stage you're in now. Recognizing your differences and growing. When we come to once again, a thumb finding that there is infatuation. Qualities that were once perceived as have started to irritate us. Friction is inevitable, which is a shame. Whenever our differences with one another become too great. Increases in power struggles as our partner has changed. Possibly, we aren't the ideal match for one another. Considering that our disappointment grows as time goes on. How stress affects our biological systems. According to our psyches and circumstances. If we feel like fighting or withdraw, you might experience, for instance, to uphold your principles, you must fight. That could actually mean that you want to be able to do everything your way. To anticipate another makes little sense. A similar person to ourselves, but many of us do have a tendency to ask why on some level. Do you share my traits? How to proceed in this stage of the relationship is to use conflict resolution techniques. Conflicts should be brought down to confronting relationship issues. Being considerate and respectful of one another. Observe that there are power struggles and disputes are common in relationships. They are not always in a relationship does not signal that a relationship is ending or that the relationship isn't going well. The ability to recognize the distinction between constructive conflict, control problems that are unhealthy. Unlike the latter, the former can be resolved. Possibly a sign that you should end the relationship. However, the third stage of a relationship is called the active relationship. The relationship is successful in this area, so let's assume that the fact that a man managed to circumvent with his wife while they were in a power struggle. He has authority over others. They are in infatuation with one another and the many couples' relationships are flourishing. Do make this point, but this is also a place where many relationships end. They gradually begin to do this because, over time, they more akin to friends, they don't put in the effort to not make an effort to comfort each other any longer. Attracted to one another and begin to pursue each a commitment to, and a love for another. Taken for granted. After that, the relationship ends. Then boring after working, then falling to pieces. Afterward, the man or the woman will begin considering cheating or departing as they don't feel as though they have lost their love. The attraction between the two of them is minimal. Her attraction to him is minimal as well. They are merely sort of like, you know. Commitment marks the fourth phase of a relationship. Then, assuming the man was successful. At the height of the power struggle, he won the working in relation to them. Remained in love, the affection was respected, and his and her mutual attraction began to increase in depth. That's why it wasn't vanishing. There was no loss of spark. All of spark stayed in place. They continued to be in love, which at that point began to deepen. It's completely reasonable in a relationship. A commitment between the man and the woman. The norm for couples to do with each other, and at which point they must decide. The maintenance of a relationship. Couple for life, or they get engaged and then get married, or they do both. Unless they already occupied the space. They carry it out collectively. When they have already. After completing that, they begin to consider preparing to start a family and working toward long-term objectives that will benefit both parties. However, a lot of couples also unfortunately, following the commitment stage, break up. When they initially cohabitated or when they were either engaged or they wed. All of it felt wonderful nevertheless. As time goes on in the relationship, the man began making his girlfriend lose weight with him in a way that makes her show disrespect for him. She and I are constantly in disagreements. The relationship is stressed. Or perhaps he had grown overly attached and controlling, which made her feel this way. To stop admiring him and finding him attractive. What transpires in a result of that? In many relationships, a man was once the subject. He convinces his partner to move in with him. Either becomes engaged or married. Slowly, he alters his behavior toward his female participant. In the initial, their destination relationship was lustfully and romantically. There's a chance he's taken her out on numerous dates. Have seen every single movie, and enjoyable things, like when the relationship. He persuaded her to join him while he gives him his all. Probably, he is still there. Acting properly and being polite to her. As well as sustaining the partnership. The bliss stage of a relationship is the fifth stage. At this point, both you and your partner consciously realize how much you love one another and decide to show it by going out into the world. Nature now asks you to return the favor because it has given you life and the capacity to co-create such a blissful experience. Despite the fact that relationships can occasionally be difficult, it's crucial to learn effective coping mechanisms. There aren't many occasions when people fall in love. And it becomes simpler to handle them appropriately once you start to recognize the stages in your relationship. Do not forget that, not everything lasts forever and that, it is normal to occasionally lose feelings for people. However, it does not follow that you must feel regret. Overall, it will be worthwhile to invest the time and energy necessary to maintain your relationship. In ways that are impossible. Your thoughts. Which phase, if any, of your relationship are you currently in? Which aspect of that stage do you find the most difficult? Share with us in the comments section below. Give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends about it if you liked it so we can continue to produce them. To receive notifications when we upload a new video, remember to click the notification bell after you hit the subscribe button for more videos like this one. I appreciate you watching.